This is another example from the practice set, Descriptive Statistics for Module 2. This is actually problem number 2, and we're going to walk through it together using the free website to perform the calculations. So remember, the link to the free website is here, and you may want to bookmark it on your personal device so that you don't have to keep coming back to this particular PowerPoint or video. So the question we're going to focus on is, what is the average distance in miles between retail stores and a large distribution center? And we have the data, which are the distances between 20 retail stores and a large distribution center measured in miles, and they are already ranked for us from lowest to highest. And so the first thing that we need to do is go out to the website and enter our data. And we enter the data with a space between each number. So we just enter space, enter the number, space. Again, when you're finished, you want to double check, make sure you don't mistype something, make sure that you do enter all of the data. Okay, so we just keep typing till we get it all in there. It's okay. Some of them are 2 digits, some of them are 3 digits. It's okay. Just put a space between each value in the data set. And once you have your data entered, we simply click on the button labeled Calculate. And honestly, if you want to clear the data so you can start another problem, that's what you use the button that says Clear for. So it's almost easier than the calculator. So we press Calculate, and my computer's running a little slow, so it's going to think about it for a little bit, but then it's going to present the results. And the results that we get, again, we have to write them down. And the nice thing about the website is it basically gives you everything that you need. You don't have to do any hand calculations. So you get the mean, which is 83.5. The sample standard deviation is 34.95, but when you round it to a single decimal would become 35. Our sample size, or the count, is 20. The minimum distance was 29. First quartile is 62.5. The median is 84. The third quartile is 102.5. And the maximum was 150. The computer, the website, also gives you the mode, which is the value that occurs the most, 96. It also calculates the sample variance, which would be your sample standard deviation squared. It gives you the range, which would be your maximum minus the minimum. And then it also calculates your IQR. So it's really kind of nice because it does everything for you, and you don't have to do any hand calculations. Let's see if my computer caught up with us so you can see the results. Okay, so here's what it looks like on the screen once the results come up together. There's some things that I indicate for you just to totally ignore because they're more advanced concepts than what we are going to be discussing. I also already hand drew for you the box plot. Again, remember, with a box plot, you start with a horizontal number line or a vertical number line. It doesn't matter. On the left end of the number line, you have your minimum value. On the right end, you have your maximum value. You indicate where quartile 1, the median, and quartile 3 would be on the number line, and you put a box around those values. I also use the website again to computer generate it. Again, there doesn't appear to be any outliers within this particular data set. Visually, here's where sometimes it gets tricky. I could argue that this box is a little bit on the low end, which would mean it's skewed to the right. But someone else might come along and say, I don't know, Miss Ralston. I think it's kind of in the middle, which means it's symmetric. So sometimes our eyes can be tricked or deceived. That's why it's always best to verify it using our algebraic formula. So again, some observations that we have. The average distance from the retail store to a large distribution center for the sample of 20 stores is 83.5 miles. Therefore, we can infer that the average distance from all retail stores to a large distribution center is 83.5 miles. If we compare the mean, the median, and the mode, the mean, which is 83.5, the median, which is 84, and the mode of 96, it does seem that the distribution would be skewed to the right, since the mean is smaller than the median, which is then smaller than the mode. So this verifies that it's skewed to the right, and we have no doubt or discrepancy about what type of distribution we have. Then we have to again think about outliers. Visually, we didn't think we had any. If I calculate quartile 1 minus 1.5 times the IQR, I have a value of 2.5. So any data value less than 2.5 miles from the distribution center would be an outlier. And in this case, there are none. The shortest distance was 29 miles? On the other extreme, we've calculated Q3 plus 1.5 IQR, which is 102.5 plus 1.5 times the 40, and we get a value of 162.5. So any data value more than 162.5 from the distribution center is considered an outlier. And here again, there are none. And that completes the problem number 2 on the practice set for descriptive statistics.